And good to have Dr. Andrew Blackwood with us. You've been on this program many times, giving us great advice and apologies to helping us get through some of the landmines in families. Andrew, what are you seeing with families? I mean, we hear the statistics. Is it as bad out there as it's, being portrayed that the family really is in crisis in Canada?
Definitely. But the reality is every family will go through crisis at some point. So I encourage people to focus on opportunities to really be present. Engage with people, the people in your life, the younger people, all throughout their lives. So when those crisis points come, you're a consistent person there.
When I was a kid growing up, there were still biblical values in our culture. That's not so much the case anymore. Why is Christian media, Crossroads, 100 Huntley Street, and all the programs Sheldon and others are doing, why is that so important?
It's wonderful to have options. It's wonderful to have supportive options as parents, as guardians that we can kind of reference. We can even honestly acknowledge that we don't know everything, and we want our kids to share with us what they're coming across so that there can be dialogue both ways.
I know one of the things that we've tried to do as hosts on this program, Cheryl, Maggie, myself, Lorna, is be vulnerable in the sense that, hey, we haven't got it all together, but we have a hope. Getting that hope is obviously something that we want to continue to do. We've been doing it for more than 40 years with David Maines and all those that have been a part of this program. That needs to be in the culture, doesn't it? And people need to see what we're doing, and just by example, showing how to live a life that has some point to it.
Exactly. Both on camera, on air, on media, and in the homes. All of those areas, it's so important for us to be present, to be transparent, to be vulnerable, but also to be informed.
Now, you're a dad. And how have you seen that from when you were raised in a Christian home and now raising your children, that passing the torch that we're talking about? How in practical ways are you doing that?
Well, definitely, again, being present, being available wherever possible. My children are still young, but they're engaging with technology. They're watching TV. So again, those limits, being present, but also following up. Asking, so what are you learning from that? What was that like? How did you feel when you heard that? And it's a continual conversation, whether we're talking about what my daughter saw on TV or what I overheard someone saying to her at school. Coming back to those things, following those conversations up.
I know your book, The Art of a Genuine Apology, a lot of people my wife, myself, we've been using that. And it's amazing how in the culture, things that we've taken for granted, things like that, spirituality, it really has been lost on this culture. So again, how do we practically now pass that torch?
Right. A lot of people see spirituality as something that is vague and ambiguous. But the reality is it comes through everything that we do, everything that we say. Children, teens, they learn more by what they see than by what they hear. So it's important to model that. I offered an apology to my daughter last night, and one of the essential values in doing that was being humble enough. And that kind of modeled for her that I don't have it right all of the time. And it's okay to do that. And I think when parents do that, whether it's around social media or around their interactions, their teens particularly pick up on that.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Andrew. And we look forward to having you back on the program. You always provide great advice and insight. And that's why we're doing these kinds of programs, to get this kind of information out to our culture. So thank you again for your support of Crossroads and all that we're doing. Let's head back over to Sheldon.